The Edo State government has declared a 24-hour curfew in the state following violent incidents in the state in the End SARS protest and also a prison break. And the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has appealed to protesters in the state to leave the street, stating that the government is working hard on their demands. He also inaugurated the End SARS Inquiry Committee today. Hello everyone and welcome to the program. Perhaps not the kind of Monday a lot of people are expecting in major cities of the country, as the End SARS protesters are not backing down. Today there are major roadblocks and the protesters are calling on the government to meet their demands. It appears in several states of the Federation, the agitations of the End SARS protesters is receiving the attention of the state governors. For example, some of the state governors like Delta, Nasarawa, Kaduna, Ogun have taken steps. In Lagos, for example, the governor of Lagos, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is asking the protesters to leave the street. He said that he is working hard on their demands. He also sworn in a 7-man judicial panel of inquiry and restitution to investigate cases of brutality and human rights violations committed by operatives of the dissolved Special Anti-Robbery Squad in the state. The panel, which is being headed by retired Justice Doris Okwobi, will sit for 6 months and is mandated to thoroughly investigate all verifiable claims of abuses and fatalities arising from SARS engagement in the state, with the objective to bring erring officers to justice and get compensation for the victims. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari is again asking that the End SARS protesters to give the government time to meet their long-term demands. He's also asked them to remain peaceful and look out for miscreants who are trying to hijack the protest. This is coming after reports of an attack on a police station and a correctional center in Edo State by hoodlums posing as End SARS protesters. The Ministry of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare, disclosed this to State House correspondents after briefing President Buhari on the state of the protests across the country. Violence erupted in Benin City in Edo State today, and there was a jailbreak. And now there is a 24-hour curfew imposed. We'll speak with the Deputy Governor of the state, Philip Shuaibu, in a moment. But first, let's check out your political roundup.
The End SARS protests continue today in several parts of the country. In Abuja, the police dispersed the protesters using tear gas at the John Kennedy Street as they attempted to march through the back gate of the presidential villa. They regrouped and took over a poor roundabout, barricaded the road, and commuters had to go on foot. And in some other parts of the nation's capital, soldiers mounted checkpoints along the Maraba Yanya Road linking Nasarawa State to the nation's capital. In Lagos, the youth cordoned off Ojodu Berger axis adjoining Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. They equally cordoned off Allen Avenue, impeding access to the Allen Okpebi Road in Ikeja. Several roads were also blocked around Alausa, which is where the state government house is situated. The government offices were shut. The Lagos State civil servants were seen carrying their bags and other personal belongings and leaving the office premises. And the youth in Niger State continue their End Insecurity Now protest, saying they are not retreating unless government listens to their plight. The youth who began their protest rally from the popular mobile roundabout in Minna were walking about 3 kilometers carrying placards and chanting songs. In Kano State, the protest was in support of the disbanded SARS and the recently announced SWAT. Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State advised the federal government to urgently convoke a sovereign national conference for the restructuring of Nigeria with a view to address the issues raised by the End SARS protesters before it snowballs into a full-blown revolution. Mr. Otom made the call at a press conference in Makadi, where he also suggested the adoption of the 2014 National Conference report for want of time in addressing the structural, political and institutional challenges identified by the protesting youth. The governor fears that the inaction of the federal government to meet the youth on practical solutions to their grievances may lead to complicated agitations. Meanwhile, the governor of Kogi State, Mr. Yahaya Bello, has weighed in on the recent nationwide agitations and street demonstrations, asking the youth to desist from the idea of change of leadership as part of their demand. The governor said this via a statewide broadcast in Lokoja.
Sit down. They don't put fire on them.
Yeah, go lock yourself up.
Oh, why don't
That was what went down early today as hoodlums were on parade following the end of SARS protest stage in Benin City, the state capital. Things got horrid.
Images of fleet.
And that was also the scenario when a jailbreak happened following the prison break now in Benin City, the Edo State capital. The state government has imposed a 24-hour curfew across the state till further notice. The curfew is to take effect from 4 p.m. today. And according to a statement by the government, they say that schools are also going to be impacted by this. Let's speak now with the deputy governor of the state on the scenario and what has happened. Philip Shuaibu, the deputy governor, Comrade Philip Shuaibu, deputy governor of Edo State, he joins us now. Thank you so much, Deputy Governor, for joining us tonight. What a day it has been in Benin City, which has perhaps is one center that has really gone bad when we are talking about the NSAS protester and the protest activities since it started. Give us a sense of how this went already today, not what you expected this morning when you woke up, is it?
Yeah, Sean, good evening. It's quite unfortunate that the NSAS protest today went violent, and the correctional service at Sapele Road and Oko prisons were invaded, and there were jailbreaks in both sides. And before then, during the weekend, we've been having some, the hoodlums took over actually. Yesterday, 3 young ladies were raped, and some, through reckless driving, hitting up some persons. A lot of lives are already been lost, and for the state government, it's not acceptable. The legitimate protest by the NSAS group, we want to believe that we acknowledge the fact that they have the right to protest, and we also, their demands are genuine. And don't forget that I have joined them in 2 different occasions, and those young men and women that I see protesting and asking for the end of police brutality, when I interacted with them, you see genuine demand. You see that they are actually pained. Some of them, I saw scars in their body. And when I followed them the last time, over 4.5 hours to 5 hours, I interacted with them. I felt and I saw how organized they were. And they were controlling each other to make sure that the protest actually is free of violence and nobody should loot. But the event of yesterday and today, I'm very convinced that is not the same young men and women that I joined in this NSAS rally in 2 different occasions. So it became very, very important that we protect lives and property, including even the NSAS protesters, the genuine NSAS protesters. For us to declare this curfew is to protect life and property, and also the genuine NSAS protesters, because this is not the intention of those young men and women that I have interacted with. And for us, it's not acceptable. Hoodlums actually have taken over the exercise, and it's sad.
Deputy Governor, let's do some house clearing and let's know what has happened and where we are now. How many, because we understand that there are some injuries and perhaps some casualties. What can you tell us? Any person injured? Any person dead? What is the latest?
Yeah, prior to today, we've been having records of deaths. That is just the truth. And I don't want to speculate the number, but I can tell you that we as at Friday, we have a record of about 6 to 7 of them. And yesterday, I know there were some again that were reported dead. This morning, same. And the unfortunate thing is that they now stop people to extort money. And they molest people, they loot from one shops to the other. And for us, this is not these young men. You need to see, when you interact with these young men, the real, genuine NSAS guys, their demands are legitimate and they are very, very articulate about what they want. And their organization is perfect. But these ones that are taking over now are not the same people. And for us...
Deputy Governor, sorry, can you tell us from today's incident, let's take it one after the other. We understand there were injuries for the NSAS protesters. What report do you have as of now on the NSAS protests?
The report that we have as of today shown is that hoodlums hijacked the entire exercise. From yesterday, we got information that they were going to attack the correctional service. They were going to attack the airport and some key areas. And interestingly, we thought it's just their normal protest. They just go, just stay there and just block the road, not destroying any properties. But today, it took a different dimension. And
Deputy Governor, sir, apologies, Deputy Governor. I want to know, because a lot of people are worried, people who have families in Benin City or in Edo State want to know what exactly, because I will ask about the jailbreak on one hand, but as regarding the NSAS protesters, are any of them injured? Do you have any report of, God forbid, is there any death, is there an injury that has come to your table as of now?
Shehu, there are a lot of injuries. In terms of death, I have not gotten the report of death, but I know there are a lot of injuries. And I'm also told, I don't want to speculate, Shehu. I have to be sure, because this is a very trying period, and I will not want to give figures or make statements that we even promote the situation that we are today. What we are interested in now in Edo State is that we must protect life and properties, including even the NSAS protesters, because their demand are genuine and the cause of their protest is genuine, but the hoodlums have taken over. Don't forget, Sean, that we are just out of election, and we have reports of some people trying to create mayhem in the state before. I don't want to join the two, but the truth is there are deaths, there are injuries, and even before now, I can tell you, Shehu, that we've been managing the situation. And today it's gone very, very bad, very, very bad. And I don't want to give you figures because after this meeting, I'm having a Security Council meeting, and reports, by the time we got all the reports, we'll give you exactly what has happened. Another thing I can tell you, Shehu, is that police stations were burned down, and vehicles were damaged, including police vehicles and private vehicles. That one is even sad. The particular pathetic one, that one was just crying, this is where I am and living. His bus was burned down. And that is, for him, his livelihood is being cut short, and he doesn't know how to survive. So, Shehu, it's pathetic. It's really, really pathetic.
Comrade Philip Shabu, Deputy Governor, please stay with us. We'll take a break because I wanted to know also what happened as regarding the prison break, what we know, and going forward, how you hope to restore peace in the state. Stay with us, Deputy Governor. We'll take a break, and when we come back, more conversation on what happened today in Edo State. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, everyone. There are different incidents for different states of the Federation where we have experienced the EndSARS protesters taking their demonstrations to the streets. And what we're seeing that has happened, or the scenario, the trend that played out today, is the protesters at mounting blockades on major roads into the nation's capital and Lagos, which is the commercial nerve center of the country, trying to get the attention of the government in meeting their demands. But in Edo State, what happened today is we've seen a lot of violence. The Deputy Governor, Comrade Philip Shaba, has been talking to us on the program tonight, and we've been assessing what has happened. That's where the major incident had happened today, and we're focusing on that. Let's get back to the conversation with the Deputy Governor. Thank you so much, Comrade Shaibu, for your time tonight. Let's look at what has happened. From what has happened today, is the state government considering to halt the EndSARS protest for now?
Yeah, Sean, what we've done beyond the 24 hours curfew is that we've also set up a 12-month judicial panel of inquiry to look at all the demands and all the issues surrounding the protest. And that judicial panel of inquiry is headed by retired Justice Egiamuso. And we are also making some publication for all of them to submit their grievances, and some of them that were brutalized, different issues that they've raised, so that through that judicial panel of inquiry, we'll be able to collate everything that the young men and women want governments to do. Interacting with these young men, I can tell you there are genuine demands. But unfortunately, some hoodlums want to derail the intention of this young man. And for us as a state, we will have to take the destiny of our state in our hands by protecting lives and property. But what we have decided to do now, beyond the curfew that we have imposed, is we have also set up a 12-man panel of judicial panel of inquiry headed by retired Justice Egiamuso.
Should the curfew end, because I know the curfew is a 24-hour curfew, that means round the clock, nobody can step out of their homes in all of the 18 local government areas of Edo State. That is the implication of the curfew. Should the curfew be relaxed or come to an end, would you be seizing or advising the protesters to halt their protest for now? Or what's your advice to them? Because I'm not sure they are looking at ending the protest for now, because some of the agitations are asking the federal government, their demands to the federal government, most of it.
Yeah, Sean, we have appealed to them, and we are continually appealing to them. Their legitimate demand, which has led to the protest, is already being collated. And that is why, even as a state, we are taking extraordinary precaution to impose curfew to protect not only the general public's life, to also protect their life, so that they don't come out for protest and at the end of the day, they don't return back home, which is what appealing to them to please, for now, give government a chance to deal with the issues. And that is why, by the time we collect all the issues, those we already are aware, and some of them that we are not aware, we will collect all, and we definitely go to Abuja and make sure that those ones that, especially the issue of police, is purely a federal government issue. We take it to them, and for us, we will follow through to make sure that some of them that were brutalized, some of them that were extorted, and we are able to, through the report of the judicial panel of inquiry, we are able to possibly compensation, and also to see that we are also able to suggest the reform program of the federal government. We are able to bring their views, so their views are captured in the reform of the Nigerian police.
So, Deputy Governor, you have still not told me, I've asked twice now, if you will be advising them to stand down on the protest for now.
Yes, Sherwood, we have appealed to them to stand down. We have appealed to them to stand down in our collective interest, including their interest. We don't want any of them to lose their lives. Sherwood, these hoodlums have their own target, and we don't want any of them to lose their lives. So we have appealed to them to stand down.
But Deputy Governor, has any of those hoodlums been arrested?
the situation now is such that first, we impose curfew. Secondly, we have footage, and we will follow through after that. For now, we have to be cautious so that we don't go after innocent people. This situation is not a normal situation now, so we must be careful so that we don't also escalate. We are talking about police brutality. So everything we must do must be civil and must be just. So we are not in a hurry. We are just going to take our time so that our resolution and our action do not also create another problem. We must follow these young men and follow them exactly, and to make sure that they are satisfied with how we are going to handle this situation so that it doesn't repair. We are not telling them to calm down alone, but we are telling them to calm down and allow government, and we as a state government will follow through so that we don't have a repeat of this scenario.
Yeah, the Edo State is a corridor where people pass from the north to the southern part of from part of the southwest onto the south. This curfew means that trade and commerce, especially from Benin to people that are coming from the southwest to Onitsha and going into the north, is going to be halted. That's going to be a major one, isn't it? Are you looking into that?
Yes. Yes, Shehu, we don't have a choice in this matter because even the lives of those passerby are important. Are important to us. The lives of all Nigerians that pass through Edo, not just Edo indigenous, matters to us. And we don't want their livelihood to be destroyed, and we don't want any life to be lost. Sure, we must protect life.
All right.
If it means keeping them out of the state to save their life, we'll keep them alive. We'll do that, Sion.
All right. So on a final note, let's look at the prison break today. How many prisoners are out there? How many of them have been captured? And what do we know now?
Yeah, Shaun, there are many of them. As at this morning, when the first day break took place, we only have a record of about 10 to 15 of them. And as at that time, Oko prison have not been invaded. As I speak, I'll be able to give you these figures after our meeting this night. And as far as the situation is concerned, we must extract. Like I said, I don't want to give you statistics that are wrong. If I give you statistics, know that that is exactly the figures. I don't want to give you figures and to.
All right. So basically, just as we wrap up now, Deputy Governor, is there any political influence drawn into this down there in Edo State? Do you see any kind of political influence into all of this?
Yeah, Shaun, we are still investigating. We are still investigating, and I don't want to jump the gun. I want to investigate and want to be sure because we need to really investigate without bias so that at the end of the day, we are able to nip whatever it is on the board.
All right, we understand that the governor is not around. Is it true?
Don't forget that we are in the era of technology. The governor is maybe far, but it's not far because he is part of the decision. He's chairing all the meetings we have had since the beginning of this program, and even in the next 1 hour, he's going to chair the State Security Council meeting. Don't forget we are in an era of technology, so the governor is still in charge.
We just wanted to know that everyone is well, and I wish you the very best as you put your hands in resolving and restoring peace into Edo State. Thank you so much, Comrade Philip Shaibu, the Deputy Governor of Edo State. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me, Shaun. Thank you very much.
But that's how we leave it, everyone. We do hope that Edo State is safe again, and any part of the country that's experienced some kind of violence today. That's our show today, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye-bye.